Hello children, today we will do the fourth module of the lesson, The Ashes That Made Trees Bloom. In the previous modules, we saw how an old couple in Japan had a pet dog named Muko. This dog helped his master to become rich. The dog was killed by the cruel neighbors. The spirit of the dog helped this old man to become rich again. Next, we see how the spirit of the dog advises the old man to take the ashes of the burnt pine tree and sprinkle it on dry withered trees, and then they would bloom again. When this old man heard that the daimyo was passing through the road near his house, he went out to see him. He took the basket of ashes and climbed an old withered cherry tree, waiting there to meet his landlord. Till here we are done in the previous modules, isn't it? Now we move on to the next paragraph on page number 62. The second paragraph there. Now in the days of the daimyos, it was the custom when the Lord passed by for all the loyal people to shut up their high windows. They even pasted them fast with a slip of paper, so as not to commit the impertinence of looking down on his lordship. All the people along the road would fall upon their hands and knees and remain prostrate until the procession passed by. Now in those days, children, whenever a daimyo was passing through, it was a custom for the people to just close all their high windows. Nobody was allowed to look down upon on the lordship. The word impertinence means lack of respect, rudeness. So it was felt that nobody should look down upon him. It was considered as a lack of respect to look down on this man when he was passing by. So they shut their windows also. And the people along the road would simply bend down. They would lie down flat. Remain prostrate means to lie on the ground with face downwards till the procession passed by, till the people who accompanied this daimyo passed by. So all those people in Japan followed this custom. Now let's see the next paragraph. The train drew near. One tall, competent man marched ahead, crying out to the people by the way, "Get down on your knees, get down on your knees," and everyone kneeled down while the procession was passing. So one tall, competent man, the word competent means efficient, a capable man, used to walk in front. He used to march ahead and he used to order the people to bend down on their knees or to lie down flat because the daimyo was passing by. And everyone there kneeled down while this man was crossing with his group of people. Now, the next paragraph. Suddenly, the leader of the van caught sight of the aged man up in the cherry tree. He was about to call out to him in an angry tone, but seeing he was such an old fellow, he pretended not to notice him and passed him by. So when the daimyo's palanquin drew near, the old man, taking a pinch of ashes from his basket, scattered it over the tree. In a moment, it burst into blossom. Now the word pretended means acted. The word palanquin means the royal van or the cart in which this daimyo was passing by. So when this man, this tall, efficient, capable man, was crying out to the people to get down on their knees, he saw this old man sitting on the cherry tree. He was very angry. He wanted to call out to this man. But when he saw that he was an old man, very weak and feeble, this leader, he acted as if he did not see this man. And he let this man sit on the cherry tree only, and this procession, along with this palanquin, was passing by. When this daimyo's royal van reached near this cherry tree, this old man who was sitting on this cherry tree, he took a small pinch of ashes from his basket and he just scattered it on the tree. And what happened, children? In just a moment, the cherry tree was full of flowers. A blooming cherry tree is believed to be a very beautiful sight. Initially, the cherry tree was very dry, isn't it? It was a withered cherry tree. But now, when he sprinkled some ashes on that, it was full of flowers. Now let's see what happens in the next paragraph. The delighted daimyo ordered the train to be stopped and got out to see the wonder. Calling the old man to him, he thanked him and ordered presents of silk robes, sponge cake, fans, and other rewards to be given him. He even invited him to his castle. So the old man went gleefully home to share his joy with his dear old wife. Now, obviously, children, it was such a beautiful sight. The daimyo will be happy, isn't it? The word delighted means very happy. The daimyo was so happy to see this beautiful sight. So what did he do? He ordered the train to be stopped and he came out to see this beautiful magical wonder. Then he called this old man, he thanked this old man, and he ordered him a lot of gifts. He gave him silk robes, that means silk dress, and some food to eat, sponge cakes, fans. Japanese fans are very famous, isn't it? And lots of other rewards also. He even invited this old man to his house, to his big castle. So the old man was very happy. The word gleefully means very happy. And he ran home to share his good news with his wife. He was so happy with his old wife. He wanted to share his happiness. Now let's see, what does that jealous old couple do? They had a greedy neighbor also, isn't it? That old man also collected some ashes. Let's see what happens. But when the greedy neighbor heard of it, he took some of the magic ashes and went out on the highway. There, he waited until the daimyo's train came along, and instead of kneeling down like the crowd, he climbed a withered cherry tree. Now, that old man also tried to copy the same thing. What did he do, children? When he heard that this old man had made a dry cherry tree bloom, he also tried to do the same. He also took some magic ashes and he went and stood near the highway. There he saw an old withered cherry tree. He climbed that. He waited till the daimyo's train came. But do you think when he sprinkles that ash, the tree will bloom again? Let's see what happens. The next paragraph. When the daimyo himself was almost directly under him, he threw a handful of ashes over the tree, which did not change a particle. The wind blew the fine dust in the noses and eyes of the daimyo and his wife. Such sneezing and choking! It spoiled all the pomp and dignity of the procession. The man whose business it was to cry, "Get down on your knees," seized the old fool by the collar, dragged him from the tree, and tumbled him and his ash basket into the ditch by the road. Then, beating him soundly, he left him for dead. So now this man also tried to copy that good old man, and he did exactly the same thing. Do you think the tree will bloom, children? No. When this daimyo was exactly under his cherry tree, he also took some ashes and just sprinkled it on the withered cherry tree. He waited until the landlord's train came along, and he did not kneel like the other people. When the landlord was directly under him, he threw a handful of ashes over him. But the tree showed no change. The dust particles rather blew into the nose and eyes of his lordship. The tall man who was escorting the lord dragged this greedy man from the tree and threw him into the ditch. He also gave him a nice beating. The greedy man was really shocked, children. He thought he will also get some beautiful gifts from this daimyo, but nothing he got. Let's see what happens towards the end. Thus the wicked old man died in the mud, but the kind friend of the dog dwelt in peace and plenty, and both he and his wife lived to a green old age. So this cruel neighbor was left in the ditch to die. The kind owner of Mukko lived happily to a green old age. Green old age means they lived for a long time, a ripe old age. They had enough of money, they were very peaceful people, and they had plenty of food, money, everything to live a very peaceful life. But the wicked neighbor, what happened to him, children? He died in that ditch. Nothing he got, isn't it? Neither the dog helped him when the dog was alive. The spirit of the dog also did not help those greedy people. So the story teaches us a lot of good values. We should always be good to our neighbors. We should have the sharing mentality. The old couple were very good people, isn't it? But then, very pathetic way the dog was killed. They loved the dog as their own child. But the dog brought favors to the family. But the jealous neighbors, they were very greedy. They killed the dog. They didn't get anything, isn't it? So this story teaches us that if we live a good life, a good peaceful life, we will be rewarded. But then, if we always fight with others, we are greedy, we are unable to share things with the others, God punishes us. The greedy man had a very painful death. But the good neighbors, what happened to the good couple, children? They lived till the old age. They had plenty of food, money, everything. But the greedy couple had to live a very painful life. The old man died in that ditch. Isn't it? Now we come to the end of this fourth module. Thank you, children.